When it comes to creating YouTube videos, arguably the hardest part in the process is editing. And that's why in this video, I'll be breaking down step by step how to edit YouTube videos for beginners. So no matter what program you're using, you can crush your YouTube videos. So let's get it.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what's up? It's Omar Corey with Think Media, helping you build your influence with online video. And on this channel, sometimes we do tech gear reviews as well as editing tutorials just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So let's jump right into step number one, and that is trimming down the fluff. Now, this is probably the longest part of the editing process because you're really taking your one video clip or your multiple video clips and you're condensing it down to its main core. And so generally speaking, when you film yourself, the last take is usually the best take. And so if I'm editing backwards, I'm usually catching the best take of a portion in my video. Therefore, I can delete anything that comes in front of that when it comes to that portion of the video. Step number two is adding assets to your edit. And now what I mean by assets are things like B-roll or supplementary footage, titles, your YouTube intro, and music, and things like that. Because I had my points written out on my phone prior to shooting the video, I was able to create moving titles as well as my social media handles and things like that with an app called Mojo. And I actually have a few tutorials on this app, and you can check those out after you check out this video on the end screen. But nonetheless, adding these elements to your video will actually make it look a lot more professional. As far as adding music to your video, the biggest thing you want to keep in mind is to make sure that it doesn't overpower what it is you're saying. So simply turning down the music anytime you have music in your video is super key. Now, when it comes to adding B-roll on top of your footage, really the main thing to think about is to just make sure it makes sense. You don't want random clips showing when you're talking about something else. And so when I shoot my B-roll, I actually use my script to kind of give me a shot list. And I actually have another tutorial on how to shoot B-roll, and you can check that out at the end card at the end of this video as well. But just keep that in mind when you're adding B-roll to your clips. Step number three is kind of optional, but that is adding effects to your video and audio. And I used a lavalier mic, a fairly inexpensive lavalier mic, for this video shot on my iPad, and I just simply added a high pass filter to make it sound a little more normal. And then as far as effects on my video, simply I just do some micro adjustments like increasing the contrast, adding some sharpness, maybe adjusting the white balance a little bit and cooling it off. But more than anything, this is optional. If you like how your video looks and sounds already, don't worry about this step. Now, I got two more steps that we need to get through. But before we do, if you're getting value in this video, can you let me know by smashing that like button? Thank you so much. And I wanted to let you know about our YouTube class. It's a free 1-hour class that you can take at thinkmasterclass.com. And it'll teach you how you can actually make money using YouTube. What's so cool is that you can make YouTube videos that you actually enjoy making and then make money on top of that. And we teach you how that can be done in our free 1-hour class. And you can go to thinkmasterclass.com or check out the link down in the description below. Step number four is really important, and that is to watch back your footage from start to finish to find any mistakes or anything you missed when it came to cutting, titles, and things like that. You want to look out for maybe some mistakes that you might have missed when you were trimming down the fluff of the video and things like that. But this step kind of reminds me when I used to go to school and I was writing essays and papers, and you would write your essay, turn in the paper without even reading it, and then you'd get it back and get all these dings that you would have caught if you just read it through. Like, why did I even word it that way? But similarly, you want to avoid making edits after you have uploaded your video on YouTube and exported, which is step number 5, and that is exporting your video. So once you've watched back your video and your titles are all spelled right and things are looking good, it's time to export. And really, the main thing is to make sure you have your settings right when it comes to exporting. Nowadays, most editing apps and softwares, when you get to this point, just reference your timeline settings to export your video. And so for the most part, you don't have to worry about it too much. It is important to note that YouTube gives you the best recommended settings when it comes to exporting. And we'll post links to that recommendation down in the description below if you want to check that out. But on LumaFusion, you simply hit the send button and then it saves to your photos. If you're using a laptop or desktop, make sure you select the proper folder where you want your final video to be, because you don't want to export your video and it's gone and you lost it and now you have to do it again. And so just make sure you stay organized when it comes to this process. So those are the 5 steps when it comes to editing your YouTube video, no matter what editing software you use. Let me know down in the comments below which part kind of helped you the most in this video. And be sure to check out our other training videos on our channel when it comes to creating assets or shooting B-roll and things like that. And you can check that out all in the description below, or you can tap on the screen. And I can't wait to see you in a future video. Peace.